Coming up on the Angus Report, interpreting cattle market trends and capturing value.
We have tips for reducing risk in beef herds of every size.
Will Congress extend an important tax law before year's end?
Veterinarian Bob Smith discusses beef quality assurance and a walk through the pasture with Green Bay Packers star and Angus cattleman Jordy Nelson.
This is the Angus Report. Hello and welcome to the Angus Report. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. When it comes to beef cattle prices, it's important to keep things in perspective. That's according to CattleFact's market analyst Lance Zimmerman. As the market begins to transition from record high levels, there's still opportunity for cow-calf producers who meet growing demand for quality.
Really, every single expansion we went through in the 80s, 90s, and the limited one we had in the 2000s came as demand was declining. This is the first time we have an opportunity to expand the beef cow herd in an increasing demand environment. Really the first time since the 70s. We're going to go through this transition where the cow herd is responding. The cow herd's growing to these price signals, and it's going to continue to grow. And we know that those margins are going to contract at the cow-calf segment, but they're going to grow at the retail end. And so if we want to continue to command a higher percentage of that retail dollar way down at the cow-calf level, we need to do things that incentivize them to say we want more of that production. And so I think as we talk to these cow-calf producers, it's one, recognizing that, yes, prices are going to be smaller, one. Two, they don't have to be as low as you think they have to be based on previous expansions that we went through. And three, I think the other thing we need to recognize is how do we continue to increase demand, both domestically through higher quality production, but also internationally through the opportunities that we can see both with our trading partners to the north and south and the Pacific Rim markets.
National farm groups are urging lawmakers to move forward on Section 179 of the tax code before year's end. Section 179 allows businesses, including those of farmers and ranchers, to deduct the full purchase price of qualifying equipment purchased or financed during the tax year, rather than depreciate them over time. Nearly 40 industry groups sent a letter to House and Senate leaders saying that without the tax extenders bill, farmers and ranchers will face additional burdens in uncertain tax law. Paul Neefer with Clifton Larson Allen, an accounting firm specializing in agribusiness, explains.
Section 179 right now is only $25,000, but we're fairly confident that Congress before year end, now hopefully not on December 29th or 30th, but before year end, they're going to make it $500,000 for this year, $500,000 for next year. We're also going to keep 50% bonus depreciation that allows ranchers when they buy new equipment or buy a new shop or build a new shop, they can deduct 50% of it up front. So we're fairly certain that's going to be for this year and next year, and then most likely in 2017 when they get together on tax reform, fairly certain if they really have tax reform that Section 179 will be made permanent, likely at $100,000 or $1 million, excuse me, it'll be permanent at $1 million level and indexed for inflation. So that's the best of all worlds if we can get that to happen.
The U.S. Meat Animal Research Center in Clay Center, Nebraska hosted a tour and listening session November 11th to further discuss claims of animal abuse against the facility. Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts wrote to Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack expressing displeasure that the agency would force the doors of the facility open to groups that included the Humane Society of the United States, the Animal Welfare Institute, and the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, all organizations that, the governor argued, would rather see an end to all animal agriculture. Meanwhile, the Omaha World Herald reported that Clay County law enforcement, during the week of the meeting, responded to reports of drone and helicopter flyovers above the facility and nearby privately owned feed yards. The Meat Animal Research Center contributes vast amounts of research in the livestock field. It first came under fire in January when a story in the New York Times alleged longtime animal abuse. However, a preliminary review from the Office of the Inspector General found that the center's practices were in line with normal livestock treatment.
Ranching operations of all sizes must contend with an element of risk in the cattle business. But how do you reduce the risks of varying market prices, input costs, and other business factors? Wayne Faschholz addressed that topic at the Range Beef Cow Symposium and shares how small to large-scale producers can minimize risk.
I encourage folks to think about some sort of advisory board. An advisory board that meets year after year could be made up of someone from the Extension Service, for example, suppliers, a neighbor or maybe some not an immediate neighbor, but somebody that has a little different take on things. And then trying to find some skills that would strategically help us. And so that's one way to start out.
More Angus media coverage from the Range Beef Cow Symposium is available at rangebeefcow.com or in the Angus Journal.
According to statistics released by the USDA and the U.S. Meat Export Federation, U.S. beef exports struggled during September. Beef export volume fell 21% from a year ago in September to 175.2 million pounds, and value was down 28% to $456.6 million, the lowest since January. Exports to leading market Japan fell 34% in volume and 36% in value compared to a year ago, following a downward trend, also reflected in the first 9 months of the year.
The Livestock Marketing Information Center released its outlook for cattle prices and drivers in 2016. Fourth quarter 2015 beef production was 2 to 3% above 2014 levels, and long-term supply in the coming years looks for cyclically larger U.S. production, about 3 to 4% higher in 2016 and 4 to 5% more in 2017. On an annual basis, fed cattle prices are forecast to drop year over year by 3 to 5% in 2016 and another 1 to 4% in 2017. Calf prices may decline 10 to 12% in 2016, and 2017 is expected to bring calf prices down another 1 to 5%. More information is available at lmic.info. We go now to Jenna McCrell with a look at news you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Crystal. The December issue of the Angus Journal magazine is arriving in mailboxes across the country, and its pages are filled with important year-end highlights from the American Angus Association. We share a recap on record Angus sales throughout fiscal year 2015, as well as news from the certified Angus beef brand. The December magazine also features the association's newly selected Chief Executive Officer, Alan Michigimba. If you're not currently a subscriber, go to angusjournal.com today to sign up for the print or digital versions of the association's flagship publication. The Future Angus Stockman program awarded its first $1,000 scholarship to Joel Osborne of Savannah, Missouri during the National Angus Convention and Trade Show in Overland Park, Kansas. Joel is a high school senior with hopes to return to the family farm after attending college. The Future Angus Stockman program is designed to equip the nation's next generation of cattle producers with the knowledge and skills they need to be successful in the beef cattle business. This year's scholarship was made possible through generous donations by Allflex and Destron Fearing. Learn more on the commercial programs page at angus.org. And applications are now available online for undergraduate and graduate scholarships through the Angus Foundation. In fiscal year 2015, the Angus Foundation presented 136 scholarships and distributed more than $276,000 in total scholarship funds to support the Angus breed's future generations. Included among those awards is the Allied Angus Breeder Scholarship, a unique opportunity for youth who rely on Angus genetics in their seed stock or commercial herds. For more information on available scholarships or to download an application, visit angusfoundation.org. And that's what you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Jenna. When the Angus Report returns, a rare interview with Green Bay Packers wide receiver Jordy Nelson on his family's Kansas Angus farm.
First, Bob Smith, beef vet and longtime voice in animal care, stopped by the studio to discuss the merits of beef quality assurance.
Visit angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Your herd, your business, your family. You've always protected what matters most, so you know how important vaccinations are for healthy cattle. And with Vista vaccines from Merck Animal Health, you know you're covered. No other vaccine works like Vista. Only Vista gives you complete dual-action pneumonia protection and complete one-dose fetal protection for the entire pregnancy. Protect what matters most. Talk to your veterinarian or animal health supplier about Vista.
Riverbend females are ready to be placed in your herd, selling over 250 registered Angus females and a tremendous set of commercial females. The sale is managed by Cotton & Associates. It starts at noon, December 12th in Idaho Falls. Powerful donors, bred heifers, proven prospects, Cornerstone Genetics. Whatever you need, we have you covered. Invest in your herd on December 12th at the Riverbend Genetic Edge Female Sale. We'll see you there. Beef quality is everyone's responsibility, including yours. That's why the Checkoff-funded Beef Quality Assurance Program is key to your future. BQA, empowering people because you can make a difference, taking responsibility because it's our job, not someone else's, working together because product safety and wholesomeness is everyone's business. Find out more at bqa.org.
The GGP-LD, the most popular low-density genomic profile on the market, is now available for Angus. And at $45 per head, you can afford to test all your cattle. Plus, you can save even more time and money raising reputation seed stock. Put the GGP-LD profiler to work finding your best bull calves and the elite females that will brand your legacy. For more affordable accuracy, go GGP, a new brand of partner.
From all of us at 44 Farms, thank you for making 2015 our best year ever. It wouldn't have happened without your support. Our commitment has always been to produce the highest quality cattle possible, to share what we know with our customers and friends, to build something bigger and better to benefit the entire industry, from the pasture to the plate, from the rancher to the retailer. We're 44 Farms. Most of all, we wish you a blessed holiday season and a peaceful, prosperous new year.